Alright, that should be working now. Okay, yeah, that's definitely working now. Alright, hopefully it doesn't get too loud while I'm playing the game. Let's get out of that. Now what are we playing? Silent Hill 2. Alright. I wonder if I can make this... yeah, I'll do that. Okay, that should work. Let's get the game up and running. Silent Hill 2. Where's... That's it. Just making sure it's all control, game options. Yep, advanced options. Oh, hang on. That's not what I wanted to do. What the hell? Bear with me a moment. There we go. Oh, wait. I'm looking at my stream and I think I accidentally just pressed easy difficulty. New game. Alright. length of this opening part has always annoyed me, but you know, it's in the game for a reason. If you watched the making of documentary, they explain that the game developers explain that the reason why it's so long is because they wanted the player to feel like a sense of isolation. Like the longer you keep running, the less likely you feel like you can just go back to your car and drive off, you know? And they said that it was a risk, like gameplay wise, but they knew they had to do it, so, which is pretty based if you ask me. Sound design in this game is really good. Like in terms of the whole point of Silent Hill, at least with like the first and second game, is like fear of not the unknown, but like I actually probably should say the fear of the unknown, but it's more like if you can't see it, it's more scary. You know, because of the fog and the sound design making you think there's something out there when there probably is, but you can't see it. Like just then with the footsteps, like clearly outdoors, and before when I was walking in the forest. And there's just a whole bunch of different examples in room 208 in the apartments. There's like weird industrial noises that don't really make sense. I think it's in the hospital. In the hospital you go down to the basement and it's like a pig squealing or something. Makes no sense, but it just gives you a feeling of an uneasy feeling, which is, you know, the whole point of Silent Hill, to make you feel uneasy. The guy who did the sound design and the music, his name's Akira Yamaoka. He an interesting little fact about him, or his work, I should say. When he was making the first game, his soundtrack, if you've heard it in the first game, it's like extremely like metallic and experimental and rustic, and like there was a good example, an infamous example I should say, where oh hang on, my phone. Yes. Where hey mate, how you going? What was I saying? Yeah, where he used a dentist drill as an instrument, and so yeah, the soundtrack sounded real crazy, and the producers at Konami thought that it was a bug, or thought that most of his soundtrack was all glitched up and fucked up, when that was the actual purpose of what it was supposed to sound like. And even though Silent Hill 2 has like a pretty incredible soundtrack, probably one of the best in all of video gaming, if you ask me. None of the games in this series matches it's just the raw grit of the first one. Like the first one is just, it's hard to listen to, but that's the point. It's meant to be like that. So, Silent Hill 2 feels more like melancholic. Yeah, more sad, more melancholic, which isn't a bad thing. interesting thing with the map design with this game is that hang on, I'll tell you in a sec. Health drinks. I'm playing on hard difficulty. I'm gonna be picking up. I'm gonna rush through the game as well as I can, but I am gonna stop every now and again. Pardon me, I burped. I'm gonna stop every now and again to get health items. Now, as I was saying before, the map design of the game is pretty cool, since what you're supposed to do in this section is you're supposed to go, one moment. Is you're supposed to go to Neely's bar, and so you're supposed to go to Saul Street, and then you're supposed to go to, which gives you like a memo that you need to go to Neely's bar, and then at Neely's bar, you get a memo, well, like a graphic on the map to tell you to go to Martin Street, which gives you a key, which takes you to the Blue Creek Apartments. Sorry, the Woodside Apartments. But you don't have to do all of that. You can just go to Martin Street and get the key by passing all that. Now, Coming Up is a pretty... I wouldn't say it's popular, but right there. Every time I've seen someone who's never played this game before, they always get a bit frightened on that part, which I find pretty funny. Yo, what's up? I love it when games do that. When they design a map that can be broken somehow. I wouldn't say it's broken because it's core part of it. There's not really any other spot in the game where you can like go off the beaten track, if that makes sense. Like even later on in the game, when you're walking around the map at night, it gives the impression that you might be able to, but you can't. Yeah, there's a very specific way to do it. But yeah, like Metroidvania games and all that. You watch people speedrun them and sequence break the game in so many ways, and I think it's really interesting. It's obviously not, developer by the developers, but even though it's still not entirely, it's still hard baked in there somehow, because I remember when I played this ages ago, I was playing the PS2 version emulated, and I put a cheat code in, via the emulator that gave you every single item in the game. So I thought, well, if I've got the key before I pick it up from the guy, I can just run to the apartments. But it won't let you. It'll say you use the key, but it won't open the door, and that actually breaks the game, because then when you go back and get the when you get the key legitimately, it won't. I'm playing the PC version at the moment. It's hang on, do we go? I've forgotten what room we're supposed to go in. The PC version, obviously before last time I was playing the PS2 emulator version, which worked, but obviously it was emulated, so it wasn't the best. But now I'm playing the PS2 emulator version, which is runs in high definition, and because I've got the enhanced version, so it runs in high definition and 60 FPS. So it feels quite good actually, because I'm only used to the PS2 version, and the Xbox 360 version, which wasn't that great. The Xbox 360 version technically was high definition, but it wasn't great. But playing this at full 1080p, 60 FPS, it kind of feels like a remaster, even more so than the actual proper remaster that came out on Xbox 360. Imagine cheating in a single player game. I wouldn't. Yeah, I guess I was cheating, but I was more so testing out if the Cheatmaster app that I was using, I wouldn't say app, but sorry, not Cheatmaster, it was called Code Shark program I was using worked properly. So I'll explain the order of events I'm doing. Basically, what we did was when we came into the building, like I said before in regards to sequence breaking, Silent Hill, it kind of gives off the impression of being like an open, I shouldn't say open map, but like some of the sections of the game gives the impression of being open, like you complete objectives in different ways, different methods. But that's not so true with Silent Hill, especially Silent Hill 2. Yes, there are a lot of actions you're supposed to do in a row. Like for example here, you're supposed to go up to the second floor and get the flashlight, which I've got, and then you're supposed to come here and get the handgun. Now, if you think, oh, I could just get the handgun first, you can't, because you turn your flashlight off, nothing happens. See? I'm mashing the hell out of A button, but nothing happens. You got your flashlight on, he picks it up. So you need the flashlight for the gun. Now that we've got the gun, we're going to go back to the second floor. Oh, and there was a cutscene. I'm skipping all the cutscenes. There was a cutscene earlier where he was about to pick up a key, and then a little girl kicks it away. That's Laura, who's the character we'll meet later. I remember someone telling me that when you go through doors and stuff, the game doesn't load, it does it like before. Is that the same in this game? No, it does load. They might, I don't know, I'm not a programmer, so I don't know the specifics of it, but I have a feeling that they have like very simple geometry for each door, and then when you go through the door it loads. I mean, remember, this is a PS2 game, so they weren't able to have massive, because the game's very detailed as well. So, yeah, it definitely does load. And actually, Silent Hill didn't have seamless until like Downpour, because Homecoming you could open doors and stuff without loading, but when you entered like big buildings and stuff, it did load. But Downpour was pretty seamless. I don't think there were any loading screens in that game, if I remember correctly, but it's been a while since I played it. Now that only happens when you get the gun. There he is, good old Putin. Now something that's weird. When the HD collection for Xbox 360 and PS3 came out, it actually broke a lot of specific things, and in particular with that, on the 360 version, he's always glowing red, even if you look at him. But on this one, he only glows red when you look away from him. I thought that was interesting. Pretty crazy. This was on the PS2. It's even more crazy when you realise that this game came out in either October or November. No, sorry, I think it came out in September of 2001. And so that was just after a year that the PlayStation 2 was even released. And it's still actually one of the best looking games on the console. Silent Hill 3 improves on it in a lot of ways, but in terms of like the texture details, character details, especially on like the monsters, it's unbelievable. Actually, if you follow the creature designer on Twitter, he talked about Silent Hill 3, the graphics in Silent Hill 3, because there's a specific moment in Silent Hill 3 in the first cutscene where Heather, who's the character of the game, wakes up and there's a whole bunch of like ambient light on her from the window outside, and it looks unreal. It looks like an early PS3 game, right? And he said that the graphic designer spent months working, overtime, basically no sleep, getting that right. And I reckon that they probably did the same for this game too. So, and even stuff like the shadows, people don't notice that, but shadows and stuff like that, I can't really explain. Oh yeah, see how the shadows are dynamic. We take that for granted now, but back in the early 2000s, that was non-existent. That was unreal stuff. We got the key to room 202. When did the PS2 come out? In Japan, it came out March 2000. I'm not 100% sure when it came out in the US and in like the rest of the world. I'm pretty sure it came out in the US. Oh, hang on, I'm going completely the wrong way. I'm pretty sure it came out in the US like later 2000. I'm not 100% sure if it came out in like Australia. My webcam keeps going full screen. Okay, fix that. I might have a one problem. I seem to be having technical difficulties. My controller must be activating. Okay, not bad. Alright, fuck it. Let's play without the controller. If I keep having technical difficulties. So now we just have to figure out how to fucking play with the keyboard and mouse. Alright, so strafe. Action space, shift, L, M, ready weapon. How do you ready weapon? F. Okay. Sorry about that. If I kept I have a feeling that my controller was. Oh yes, I know why. That's my bad. I have it because Steam's up. Steam controls the mouse and keyboard in the real game, so that was why. All right, it should be right now. Anyway. So I'm playing with the keyboard and mouse now. What's search view? S. How do we turn around? Okay. Alright, so it's going to be a bit weird. This is what I was talking about with the sounds. Like, it's such a weird sound. I remember the first time I played this, I was like, that's such a weird sound. Don't get the significance of the butterflies though. It's always eluded in that one. I'm just gonna make sure I'm still full screen. Nope, I'm not. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm just gonna have to ask you guys to bear with me. I'm gonna change the hotkeys. There we go. Okay. I had the hotkeys on to left and right arrow keys, which obviously controls the game, but it was also controlling my camera. So now if I press that, it should go full screen. Yep. And if I press that, it'll go back to normal. Alright. There should be no more technical difficulties. I've got to be the worst streamer on the platform when I'm doing such amateur shit like that. Now, this puzzle, an interesting thing here, we got the clock key earlier. Okay, examine. There's a small, no, I'll just get the mouse out of the way. There's a small clock at the end of the key. It was in a hole in the room, in room 202. Pardon me. If we interact with the clock, won't do anything just yet. Go back into the inventory, examine. It says, now that I think of it, there was a big clock in room 208. I love little details like that in games. So, whoops, we need that. Can you speedrun the puzzles, or are they different every time? It actually depends. Some of the puzzles are exactly the same, some of them are randomized, and it also depends on the difficulty of the puzzle. So when you start the game, you get to choose between easy, medium, and hard difficulty puzzles. With most of them, easy difficulty is the same and hard, but it's different. With the clock key in particular, the riddle to find out the direction of the hands is different, but the result is always the same. There'll be a puzzle coming up, which has the same. I went the wrong way. So the riddle, like you wouldn't really call them riddles. It's more some of the locks and all that. 9, 10. That click. That means we got it. Like some of the numbers, like to open certain doors and certain locks, they're usually randomized. So yeah, so with the major riddles, the result's usually the same, but like the solution to figure it out is different, but it's not randomized. The hospital section has a few randomized number locks, which I'll explain in more detail once we get there. There's also a oh no, we've got to go up to the third. Yeah. There's also a briefcase in the hotel map that technically requires a solution, but can be speedrun. This most infamous scene in the game, which I'll skip. What is the point of Silent Hill? Well, the second one, which I'm playing now, yeah, your wife is apparently dead. No, your wife is dead, I should say. From an apparent illness. And so the reason why you come to Silent Hill... Oh no. What the fuck? Shit, I hope there's a autosave. Because I didn't save. No, there isn't. Unlike last time when the game fucked up and I left, I quit. I'm not gonna quit. I'm not gonna end the stream until I finish this fucking game. I was going too fast. If only. Alright, I'm gonna change my rules a bit. I know I said I wasn't gonna save, but because I'm playing on PC, this game has a quick save function, which allows me to, I'm pretty sure it's F5, yeah. So it allows me to save wherever I want, so I don't have to use those red squares. So I'm going to be pressing F, now that I know the game crashes, I'm going to be pressing F5 a lot. Only if the game crashes. If I die, then I will quit the game. I'm gonna play on beginner mode because I can't be fucked. I just want to get through the game, and then the next time I stream this game, because when you finish the game you get bullet multipliers. So I'm gonna play hard mode when I get the bullet multipliers, and then I'll be able to get the dog ending, which will be a better end to a stream, because you can't get the dog ending on your first playthrough of the game. I got nothing to talk about now. If you get a good run, will you submit it? No, because I'm not. If I really want to practice speedrunning this game, I will. I wouldn't submit a run unless it was like really good. I don't really have the patience to speedrun. Well, that's a bit of an oxymoron, is it? Because the speedrun is completing a game as quickly as possible. I meant more so the fact that I don't have the patience to like learn a game to speedrun, if that makes sense. Actually, on the topic of speedrunning, I'm playing Silent Hill because it's one of my favourite games. But I was playing Mirror's Edge, the first one, recently on PC, and I was getting a good knack of it, and I thought that this would be a fucking awesome game to speedrun. So, if I'm up for it, I'm going to give it a few months, well, I shouldn't say a few months, a few weeks, and I'm going to play the crap out of Mirror's Edge, and hopefully see how good I am at it. Because the only issue with Silent Hill 2 is that the game can be quite difficult at points, and there's a lot of memory in terms of like where to go and how to solve the puzzles and all that. With Mirror's Edge and more platforming games in general, it's more being good at the game rather than good at remembering what you've got to do in the game, if that makes sense. Mirror's Edge would be a good game. It's I've seen a few speedruns, a few glitchless speedruns, and it looks like an absolute amazing game to speedrun, because that's the whole point of it, isn't it? To run fast. And I mean, the game has a speedrun mode where you have to try and get through the levels as quickly as possible. So, and I've probably played Mirror's Edge just as much as I've played Silent Hill. Mirror's Edge 2 sucked. Mirror's Edge Catalyst is an absolute masterpiece if you skip all the cutscenes. That was really my main issue with it. The story and the characters suck dick, but the gameplay, the music, the open world, and the visual design was really cool. I'm actually playing through it again on the PS4 at the moment. And I mean, the first game didn't have a very good story either. The first game was saved by its music and its visual style and its gameplay, which Mirror's Edge gameplay really hasn't been replicated all too much. Replicated well, I should say. Am I still full screen? I'm going to be really nervous now that I might not be full screen, because even though I changed the hotkey, okay, I'm still full screen. Oh, okay. Took my attention off the screen. I have a lot of respect for people who speedrun games. I just like playing games quickly. There's a difference. And speedrunning this game, this opening with the long walk would be dead? Very annoying. And aiming with F and attacking with square is going to be pretty difficult. I can already tell. Thank God the game's tank controls, because just excuse me one moment, I gotta charge my phone, so I'm just gonna grab my phone charger. I just remembered while I was getting my charger, the Pyramid Head fight, the first one in the apartments. Last time I played this game, sorry, the time before that, while I was doing the whole, single run, no deaths, no saves. The overhead, I was killed from an overhead attack when the fight was over, basically, and it really shook me. even on beginner difficulty, it kills you. So it doesn't matter what difficulty you're playing on. That overhead attack is a one-shot kill. So kind of scared because I don't want to die very good. And playing with a keyboard and mouse is going to be, well, just a keyboard actually. I'm not even touching the mouse right now. One thing I got to mention though, the fog on the 360 version of the game is broken. So seeing it here where it's supposed to be really thick and hard to see through really adds to the atmosphere of the game. I've been playing Dead by Daylight and there's some more characters. I remember I bought the game because I thought it might be cool, and I bought the Silent Hill DLC as well. But I immediately uninstalled the game when I went into the costumes and saw that the costumes for the Silent Hill characters cost money that weren't included in the DLC. So that annoyed me. And it also has characters that, I mean, Heather, I suppose, but why is the other character Sybil in the first game? When people think of Silent Hill, they don't think of Sybil. Same with Resident Evil. You can buy it with in-game points too. Probably, I mean, I'm not gonna man, my head's all over the place. I don't know what I'm doing. You probably can, but have a pyramid head. Yeah, I know. But still, if I'm buying a DLC, I'd want all the costumes, you know, so. But honestly, I didn't play enough of Dead by Daylight to know if I would have enjoyed the game. I'm surprised it has this many players though, because didn't the game like flop when it came out? I'm pretty sure the game like got really low reviews, or it flopped when it came out, but it suddenly became really popular. I'm not sure. I haven't been following up on it. That might have been a different game. And I'm also just remembering that I completely forgot to get the handgun bullets from earlier from the place outside. It doesn't matter. Kind of pay to win. That's the really pay to win. I thought you could only buy cosmetics. Better killers. Wait, so they have different stats and all that. I thought that they were just all the same, but they just had different like animations and cosmetics. Oh, okay. That's a bit shit then. If some are better than others. Wait, what was that key I just got? Clock key, yeah. It's alright. We're nearly up to where I was before. So I was making good time actually. I stopped a lot last time to talk, but now that I know what I'm doing. You can buy killers and survivors who have different abilities. Alright, well, I'm glad I refunded it then. That sounds like a whole lot of bullshit. Upstairs. Another cool thing about playing on PC is that outside of saving whenever you want, you can also reload at any time. Before, you have to go into the options menu and what's it called? Reload, like you have to press reload on the gun. Sorry, in the inventory menu. But here you can just press R and it'll reload. They added that as a feature in on consoles in the third game, but not in the first game. Wrong. So now that we've got the courtyard, oh no, that was the wrong way. So now that we've got the courtyard key, go back to the first. Playing on the keyboard is really starting to hurt my wrist. Almost every game is pay to win now. That's kind of what it feels like, you know. I don't really play online games anymore. I used to play a lot of COD. Did you say COD's pay to win? I mean, the only thing you can buy in that game are cosmetics. Alright, now that I'm back on track, our next step after doing that is getting these coins. Just about everything in this game has some sort of ulterior meaning, like some resemblance to something. With the monsters, it's kind of easy to figure that out, figure out what the monsters mean. But the riddles, not so much. Oh, this is where we find Eddie. And some of the most realistic vomiting sounds in any game. We actually have to meet Eddie. That's what I was saying before with the whole sequence thing. If you don't meet Eddie, there's a certain door later on in the game that you have to go through that won't let you go through. It'll say there's a force stopping you from entering, which feels really un-Silent Hill-ish. Yeah, it's a little bit annoying, but so be it. It's whatever. So I think that's just pistol bullets in this room. Yeah. We've got to find Angela. Oh no, Angela's in. Yeah, in Warzone, the first battle pass had a skin that was so dark it could blend in. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Who the fuck is just chilling? Well, the thing about Silent Hill, when I looked at it, the thing about Silent Hill is that there's like different dimensions. I guess that's one way of explaining it. Like what we're in right now is called the Fog World, because it's really foggy and there's monsters and all that. But there's also but there's also the overworld, which is like the hellish blood place that you go in every Silent Hill game. But there's the real world, and the real world Silent Hill is actually a tourist town, and people don't. It's abandoned, so people don't live there. But so the only reason why there's enemies is because it's like a manifestation of the player's psyche. That's why the monsters resemble some sort of thing in their life. Like Pyramid Head. Pyramid Head's not just a scary monster, he represents like the sorts of pains of James's life. And who just has the blueprints or a random ass building? Well, they're not blueprints, they're maps. But I suppose you're right. I mean, I've never been to like an apartment building where they just have a map that they just hand out that has the locations of every room. We'll just unlock that. Don't need to go that way. Yeah, just unlock it. There was a location in the first game that didn't have a map, and the place was like teleported you all over the place. So trying to figure out where the hell to actually go was like a mission. I wouldn't go through all this just for a girl. You've never understood true love then. I think another part of it is because she's supposed to be dead. So I suppose it's just morbid curiosity, like, how the hell can a dead person send you a letter, you know? But at the same time, that's another part of the whole that long sequence at the start. You know, he's walked all that way. You can't just turn around and leave now. So, what have we got? We need... Yeah, okay, I know what I'm doing. Turn around. I won't spoil the twist, but the twist in this game was pretty crazy when I first played it. It was something that I was not expecting. Now, I skipped all that dialogue because it's not necessary, but an interesting thing about that dialogue is it talks about a guy called Walter Sullivan. Walter Sullivan means absolutely nothing in the game, it's just a name. But later on in the game you find gravestones, and there's a gravestone for you, there's a gravestone for Eddie, and there's a gravestone for Angela. There's also a gravestone for Walter Sullivan. Again, doesn't really matter, but it's weird that he has a gravestone. But in the fourth game, Silent Hill 4, he's actually the main enemy. So I wonder if that's something that was planned by the developers, or it was just a coincidence, like they were trying to figure out who to have as an enemy, and it's like, oh, there's this guy, it was just a random name in the second game, but a lot of people sort of consider the fourth game to be kind of like a semi-sequel to the second game, just like how the third game is a sequel to the first game. but it's not as much as a direct sequel. The only real things is Walter Sullivan and one of the characters in the game is James's dad. I've got the 4th game on PC as well. I might well, I'll play the 3rd game on stream. I'm not as familiar with the 3rd game and the 2nd game as sorry, the 4th game as I am with the 2nd game. In fact, I've never even finished the 4th game, and I finished the 3rd game heaps of times, but I don't have as quite a memory of it. Oh yep, so the infamous toilet scene, and we've got, ooh, hang on, I'm going to need to write that down. How is their 4th games? Are they different? Well, there's actually a lot more than 4 games. I'll explain it a bit now. So the first game is the first game, the 2nd game is this one, not connected in any way except for the town Silent Hill. The 3rd game is a sequel to the 1st game. The 4th game is sort of a standalone game, but it has references to the 2nd game. Then there was Silent Hill Origins, which is a prequel to the 1st game. Then there was Silent Hill Homecoming, which is completely... They're all set in the same universe, but Homecoming is its own game. It's not even set in Silent Hill for most of the game. And then there was Shattered Dimensions, which is like a reimagining of the 1st game. And then there was Downpour, which again is like a original game. So I'm going to write this down because it's a bit hard to memorize. So BB4, right, X5, left, XX, right, X3. Now this puzzle, the letters are Roman numerals. So VV4, that's 14. So go on 14. And then right, so you got to press right, X5. So that's 15. So go all the way around. And then left, XX, which is 20. And then right, X3, which is 13. The reason why I'm opening this is because there's a shitload of handgun bullets. Now we've got to find Angela. I think she is on the 1st floor. Yeah, I don't have the map yet because it's the interesting thing about these games is how easy it is to miss the maps. You know, the maps are really an integral part of the game. I mean, that one was so easy to miss. Just gotta remember, I think it's 106. Is that a riddle that changes? Yes, that is one of the randomized riddles, but it's different depending on the difficulty. So on easy and normal difficulty, it's just numbers, but on hard, it's got the Roman numerals in it. But yeah, it's random every time you play. So now a little bit of symbolism here. There's a door that's all dirty and broken and boarded up, and there's a completely white door. Guess who's in the white door? And here's a stuffed animal. As we know, Angela was abused as a child, so that probably has something to do with that. We'll just skip this. I remember when I played that on the PS2 emulator version, it would always crash there. Picture of the United States. Now, this is something that's interesting. Usually when you walk past an item, James will turn his head to indicate you can pick it up. It doesn't matter what it is, if it's like a drink or a, you know, like a key item that you need. But there's something on the floor here, a photo. So you can see that it's a little girl and her mum and a guy ripped off. Angela is the other character in the game. So you've got James, who's a playable character. You've got Eddie, who was the guy who was throwing up earlier. And you've got Angela, who was the girl that we met earlier and who was in this room. Who was abused as a girl and she's suicidal. Actually, she gave us this knife here. That was just given us in the cutscene. This is nice music. This is probably one of the more popular pieces of music from this game. It has quite a lot of views on YouTube actually, like millions and millions of views. So yeah, you know, the point of Silent Hill is that you can come to, you know, fight your demons and all that. So we're all here for a reason. James is here because his wife's dead. Eddie's here because he killed a high school football coach. Oh no, it's in the first one. And Angela is here because she was abused and probably killed her dad. So, and then there's Laura, who's the little girl. She's completely innocent in all this, but she's got something to do with James that makes sense later on in the game. Now, I'm not going to figure out this is. I've written down the solution to this riddle. So yeah, there's a lot. You're supposed to use the riddle to interpret what it means, but we're not going to do that because I can't be asked. So usually it's something like, oh, you know, to my left, a woman is tied up and there's blank space next to me, which is to signify, you know, where things are supposed to go. But right now, we'll just do that. Got the Lynn house key. Now, an interesting thing about the term Lynn house key, there was a movie called Jacob's Ladder that came out in 1990 and was one of the main inspirations behind the first Silent Hill game. And the creator of the guy who directed Jacob's Ladder, that's not the right way. The guy who directed Jacob's Ladder, his name's Lynn. So that's a nice little reference. And actually, on the note on the door, which I can't read, so I've got the key, it'll say "Dear Tim." The lead actor in that movie, his name's Tim. So. It's just a nice little reference to the movie. I'll save. Oh, definitely saving in here. Alright. Now we're coming up to the... I like games that have riddles, that's why I like Uncharted. Yeah, having sections where it breaks up the action a bit and you have to use your brain. Yeah, it's great. I like it when that happens. Especially in this game and in the third game where they have difficulties. So you know, so if you're playing on hard difficulty, you have to really think outside the box. Alright, this is it. This is the fight. Let's do it, come on. world record pyramid fight? Maybe. If I had died then, I can't tell you how angry I would have been. Was he having sex when you walk in? It looked like he was humping a dead enemy, yeah. So that's Laura. So, yeah, the whole purpose of Pyramid Head is like a manifestation of James's sexual frustration, which is why he was raping those mannequin figures when you walked into the room earlier. And some people have said that the corners, sharp corners on his helmet represent pain. Well, that's what the creator of the monster said.
Mary?
That the points represent pain. Just a little kid chilling in Silent Hill. But the interesting thing is, because, like I said, each person in the town sees Silent Hill differently, there's a good chance that Laura doesn't see any monsters at all, because she's innocent, she hasn't done anything wrong, so she's not here to repent for her sins. So we got to go to the bowling. Now, an interesting thing about the game is that it has multiple endings. But the interesting way to get all those endings is it's not necessarily, picking a choice, a point A and a point B choice during the game. It's more so small little actions that you take. I'm going to take this because it's a really strong weapon. Small little actions that you take, for example, and each ending has a different name. So, for example, and it also changes who the final boss is. The boss itself is exactly the same, but the person who the boss is, I know that's a bit weird to say, is completely different. So that's not the right way. So
did you find the lady you're looking for? What's her name? Mary?
I'll explain it a bit. So one thing I want to know is, how did this dude get a freshly cooked full pizza
Eddie?
in Silent Hill? That's not the point. Maybe he manifested that. Yeah, so to get the normal ending, you just need to play the game like normal. To get the in-water ending, where James kills himself, you have to keep looking at the picture of Mary in your inventory. You have to attack Maria, or let her get injured a lot. And you have to keep looking at the knife that Angela gave you, that she tried to stab herself with. To get the Maria, you have to make sure Maria doesn't get hurt, you have to keep checking up on her, all that. So those are the different endings. And there's also the dog ending, which you can only get on a second playthrough, which is where everything in the town was orchestrated by a Shiba Inu. And then, again, only on a second playthrough, you get the rebirth ending, where James tries to bring back Mary from the dead. So, uses occult magic to bring her back from the dead. So. And then in the director's cut and the Xbox version, there's a UFO ending where the main character from the first game bunch of aliens come find you and abduct you. So. Now, the hospital section is a little bit confusing for me because there's a whole bunch of different routes and a whole bunch of things you got to memorize. And because of randomized codes, you have to go to some places. So because there's a box with a piece of hair, and in order to get the hair, you need to find 2 codes. You need to find 2 keys, which are always in the same spot, but you need to find 2 codes, which are always randomized. And I need to find the stairs. It's not the stairs. So, don't know what they've done. And there's even to find the codes and the keys are specific. A lot of these rooms, so that was the second key. So we've got those keys. Now we need to find those codes. So this is where we use the hair. I'm pretty sure. No, oh no, this is one of the codes. So that code there, 8435, that's randomized every single time you play. So. A little bit of sequence breaking here. This code, why is that girl just following you around? Because she wants to help out. Because we're chasing after that little girl Laura, and she wants to help us out. So she's following us, and yeah. So this code is actually randomized on normal and easy difficulties, but because I'm playing on hard, it's always the same. I've got it written down. So that's why I was saying it's a bit sequence breaking, because you need to go into the examining room to find that code, but we already know it, so we don't need to go there. So one of these rooms, Maria will feel sick and will leave us alone. This is it. Okay. So is Maria. I'll be back in a sec. So, go up to the roof. And one of the coolest moments in the entire game, if you ask me, is going to happen in a sec. So we're running around. Here's another missable little key item. A lot of people have figured that this might be a diary from Mary. But I'm pretty sure the developers debunked that. They said it's just a random diary. Mary's got nothing to do with it. Oh, okay, whatever. He knocks us in here. Now, this section gives us low health. It's actually impossible to die. So even if our health was already red, it would still be red. So, which is good. I'll just save here, just in case. Oh man, my wrist is really starting to hurt now. Anyway. So this is another randomized code. And it's a bit hard to see, actually. I remember I was reading, back when I first played this game about 9 years ago, I was reading some chat rooms of people who first played it, and apparently no one could figure out what these numbers meant because of how weird they were. But I can see it says 3123, so we've got everything we need to unlock that box at the end of the hallway. Yeah. Code on bottom there. That's Silent Hill for you. We need to use... I'm pretty sure you can bind the keys, so you don't have to use them. Yeah. So hang on, what was the... I'll write the numbers down. It was 8435, and the other one was 3123, wasn't it? Yeah, 3123. So obviously, because 3123 was turn the numbers, it's obviously meaning the ones we got to turn it. So 3123 and 843. Done. And we've got a bit of hair. Oh, we need the hook. That's right. I just remembered we need the hook. I'm pretty sure that's in the woman's locker room. Usually all these, well, not all of them, but a lot of these rooms have, I know, nurses stations, so, just like first aid kits and bullets, nothing important. Bent needle, that's it. There's not actually a lot of places where you need to combine items in this game. There's just this one time and the prison. What are we just doing? This is around about... Oh, where I died last. Oh yeah, I remember. So we need to go to first floor. I've got to remember where the oh, that was close. Oh, that was close. I almost missed out on the shotgun. Why do I keep saying that? Because that's Silent Hill. People don't know how to put their things away properly. Now, what I was saying before that was close, almost missed on the shotgun. So I was just thinking, I was like, I haven't got the shotgun yet. There's a good reason why. Because if I continued the game and that's not what we need. Must be in the other one then. And went to the nightmare world. I wouldn't have gotten the shotgun. See, it's right there. So, and that shotgun is a must against the boss fight that's coming up. So, even though I don't have any shotgun shells, so. I've got loads of bullets. Handgun bullets, so that should do. Very easy to miss stuff. It's like the other gun in the game, which is the hunting rifle. That's just as easy to miss. So. Shotgun shells. So yeah, I probably could have gone into all those rooms in the third floor and got the shotgun shells, but we're trying to speed run, not logic run. So I'm just making sure that room earlier, that's where we're supposed to go, so I was just making sure that bullets in. Here's Laura, little shit, locks us in a room with monsters. That's another reason why people that furthers the evidence that Laura can't see monsters, because it's like while she wasn't even a room of monsters, she wouldn't have seen monsters. She just thinks room. So now we're in the nightmare world. Every time in the Silent Hill games, every time you go into the nightmare world, an air raid siren plays. So that's what that noise was. Now, what's interesting here, look how big this garden is, right? It's like, what, 2 and 3 meters by 2 and 3 meters, right? Look at the map. Look how big the garden's supposed to be. And it's only this little tiny square. Anyway. So the nightmare world in Silent Hill 2 is a lot more subtle than in Silent Hill 1 and Silent Hill 3. In Silent Hill 1, it's like really industrial, and bloody, and really nightmarish. And in Silent Hill 3, it's like the walls are really, it's like crazy in that game. And this game, it's, yeah, like I said, it's a little more subtle. It's more which you know, I'm divided on whether I like it or not. So I mean, it's still really good design. Didn't I just come from there? Yeah. Game developers just gave up on the garden. Nah, I'm sure it means something. I'm sure it signifies something. You're trapped in a wall or some bullshit. That's a good thing about hang on, where do we gotta go? That's a good thing about the whole mystery of Silent Hill is that you can just bullshit. You can just, oh, it's meant to be like that because it signifies something. So I don't remember where to go at all. So I mean, I know what I gotta do, but I just can't remember where everything is. So just bear with me for a little while I my parents, because I know you got to get Maria. I know, you know, you got to go down to the basement, get Maria, and then go to the, because you need Maria to help you open the fridge day room, which gives you a ring, and then you use that ring to go somewhere, which is where thing. So I remember what you got to do. Oh yeah. So yeah. So this is the battery and the basement. Yep. So we've got the basement stuff. So now we need to find the staircase. Because that battery comes into play later. What I was talking about with the dynamic shadows. Look how the shadows move around like that. Crazy stuff. Okay. Yep, so we need Maria to help us open that that fridge. Because James is a weakling. Knuckles are starting to hurt. Yep, so that's where we've got to go. That's where so this is where how Mary was sick as well. Think about that. Think about how that correlates. Anyway, no, that wasn't the right on this. I think I'm not even sure if that's a. So this is what I was talking about with the weird audio design. I'm pretty sure that's just a original painting made by the developers.
James!
So there's Maria. How you going? Get the ring. So this is one of the rings, and then the other ring is in that fridge. I know what I'm doing now. We can go back up to the roof, but there's no point. The fridge was on the second floor, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. So there's a box. We gotta listen to the. In this current elevator right now, Maria, there'll be like a game show host, and the elevator will take about 3 times as long. But anyway, so we just skip bit because I've written down the answers. It's just a ring in a random empty room. Have you not figured it out by now, bro? It's not supposed to make sense. Oh, come on, James. Alright, so we can technically progress with the story. We're gonna go to the story. Anyway, so that elevator ride that we just skipped, a guy, like a game show host, was gonna call us, gonna ask us questions, and the answers to those questions open a box on the third floor, which actually is probably the most random part of the game, if you ask me. Yeah, it's like the only time ever in the entire series where the radio you have actually works, like as a radio. So, yeah. So I've written it down. 3, 1. Look at all the shotgun shells and ampoles. Ampoles basically refill the health to maximum. Alright, now we can progress with the game. Which I'm pretty, yeah, it is on the same. So you notice how the hands come out of the painting. This one. This other one. Opens. And then there's just this whole area of the hospital that's just magically appeared. Oh, this is a clue, which is completely missable. For the next part of the game, where we've got to go to the director's office. Now this is an awesome part. So we're just running along. Oh shit, look who shows up. I love how he just appears, you know. There's no like, jump scare, there's no BAM! He just appears. And Maria's dead. Director's room. So that's where we gotta go. Letter and range. You can somehow see Laura outside. Jane contemplates for a bit, but we're not here for that. Now, actually, there's a if we return, remember how I was saying before, Neely's bar gives you a message to go to find that key in the alleyway. If you return to Neely's bar now, which I won't do, it's out of there. But if you return to Neely's bar, it's a different message. Before, the message was there was a hole here. It's gone now. That was the message. And if you go there now, and only now, while it's dark nighttime, the message will be something like, if you can see, you're too late to save her, James, or something like that. No, yeah, maybe you should just die, James. Which is a little bit of a reference to Twisted. Towards the end of the game, I won't skip any of the cutscenes because they're really good. So this is what I was saying before. The level layout of this area changes at night, and I think I'm going the right way, but I could be wrong. Overnight, massive new blockades were put up. Somehow I didn't notice. Yep, this is the right way. Okay. Now these creatures on the floor, this is the only time they're here. And actually, if you play Silent Hill 3, they look almost identical. And the reason is because the developers of Silent Hill 3 thought that these creatures here were underutilized. So they made them like the main, not the main enemy, but one of the first enemies you see in the game. And they look a little different, but they're pretty much the same. So you know what? We're actually almost, we're past halfway through the game. Because we've only got the Silent Hill Historical Society, and then the prison, and then the hotel. The Historical Society doesn't last long. The prison and the hotel lasts a little while, but the apartments and hospital are the longest parts of the game, which we've just found through. Because this flashlight never runs out. It runs out once, which is why we picked up that battery earlier. It's the only time it runs out. It's part of the puzzle. And if you notice, that goes back to what I said earlier about the linearity of the game. In order to get to the next part, you need a key to the basement. The only way you can get to the basement is if you pick up the battery. Now, this is a little smart. See how it just changes? Just to give you a little... So this tells us we're in the park. We've got to dig. Oh, maybe not. So now we're going to go back to the park. I'm pretty sure the park is all blocked off. I could be wrong. I hope not. Because I don't want to spend all day. That's blocked off. I'm trying to figure out the park. Obviously, we don't have to cut through the apartments again. Why is the light green? Yeah, that's weird. I've never noticed the traffic signals all are turned on. I never noticed that while playing this game before. This is also the real last exploration of the town we've got to do. I didn't notice that. Okay, it's not that way. After the Historical Society, we've got to run up like a long road, but that's there's almost no exploration in the third game. Maybe it was like a criticism the developers took to heart, because there's a little bit once you get into Silent Hill, but that's about it. You're basically just going from building to building to building to building. Something through the building. Urbanized game, I should say. I don't think we've got to go back to Soul Street. Streets look pretty realistic for a PS2 game, that is, yeah. I suppose because I don't have to render so far into the distance, it's easy to make everything look good. Because as most people know, the reason why there's fog in the town in the first game was because the PS1 could only render a certain distance. So even though the PS2 can render a lot further, they still kept fog there because that's the whole thing. Is it ever day in Silent Hill? Well, it was day when we first came in. It just didn't look like it because of all the fog. But it was daytime, and it will be daytime once we leave the prison. I just got to remember where this statue that we've got to dig the thing up is. I don't think there's ever a time in Silent Hill. Oh, actually, sorry, my bad. There's a brief moment at the start of Silent Hill 3, where you're in the real world, but that's it. Oh, what the hell? But outside of that, there's never really a time when you're. That's back out. When you're in the real world. Jackinator, hello, how you going? I do know what I'm doing, I promise. I just got to find it. There's no map of the park, so that's not it. We've got to find a statue, because hidden behind the statue is the key to the Historical Society. So this is the sea. This is where we were before. I'm good. You're going up against Pyramid Head. I've done the first boss that was in the stairway. The first encounter in the stairway. I haven't done the second fight when you fight two of them. That's not it, I don't think. No, it must be on the other side. Unless... God, why does this have to be so unnecessarily confusing? Although I do remember the first time I played this, I spent ages just walking around in circles trying to figure out the correct way. Didn't know there was another encounter. Yeah, there's one at the end of the game. Yeah, it's definitely on the other side. I think I know what I'm doing now. Not that way. Oh, it's circled. Right, alright. I definitely know what I'm doing now. Bear with me. Rip the speed run. Yep. And funnily enough, it's an area of the game that's not randomized or anything like that. I reckon I can still get sub 2 hours. I mean, we flew through the rest of the game. And I've gotten, yeah, here it is. I've gotten under 2 hours loads of times, so. Let's get out of here. So now we're going to the Historical Society. The Historical Society is about 10 seconds, because that leads us right into the prison. And the prison's just jumping through a whole bunch of holes, so that leads us to the Labyrinth. The Labyrinth is a little long, and then after the Labyrinth, we're at the hotel, the Riverview Hotel? Is that what it was called? Lakeview Hotel. And that's about the same length as the Woodside Apartments. A little bit shorter. And then that's the end of the game. So I reckon we've got another 20-30 minutes left. So that'll be about sub 2 hours. I don't know. I can't remember how long. I'm pretty sure you can see like mannequins being thrown from around here. Or if that's a glitch from the HD collection. Probably is a glitch from the HD collection. Man, my right hand is like dead. I just want to show this image. That is cool. There's actually a painting of Pyramid Head in the Historical Society. It's him. I love that. That used to be my background picture on Facebook once. I've got a really long walk. You hear the horns? For some reason these horns are gone in the 360 version. No idea why. That's cool as. Yeah, I know why. And I liked, I didn't really spend that long on it, but the longer you look at it, the spear feels kind of like 3D. I remember thinking that when I first played. Now, let's have a think about what's happening here. That long walk down, right? And then later on, when we find a whole bunch of holes, we keep going down and down and down. Now, what is down? Hell. It's kind of like a metaphor of going to hell. A lot of people have said that it's like a metaphor of like going inside of a vagina or something, and that's just ridiculous. Now, this is interesting. You're supposed to find a specific... Here it is. One hour, 39 minutes is 72 on the leaderboards. I think my fastest, what was my fastest? Like 1 hour 57, I think, ages ago playing on the Xbox 360. So. Oh yeah, gotta find the key. There's no map yet. It's a bit confusing. Yeah, see, this is the one time where you gotta use where your flashlight runs out. It's like, what? What's going on? What's going on? So use flashlight. Ah, look at all these bugs. They do kill you after a while, though. Now this puzzle's interesting because it doesn't give you, it doesn't tell you what it is. but it's a combination of these three numbers. Now, there's always 6 combinations. No matter what 3 buttons, the guy has a world record on like every PS2 game ever. That's interesting. Probably because everyone speedruns Nintendo 64 games, eh? So there's a guy with his head blown off. So a lot of people reckon that's Eddie's doing. That's a bit weird for a riddle. What was weird? The breaking the wall. Oh no, the flashlight, yeah. I guess it's like a little bit of a jump scare. This game doesn't really have many jump scares, which is why I like it so much. Now before we do anything in here, we gotta find the map. Because this place is really confusing. So, it is prison. So we gotta find some parks, which actually reference the 3 characters. And once we find the 3 plaques, we go into that big building on the right there, and then... Yeah, always Mario. I'm so glad I didn't grow up with Mario, because what Nintendo have been doing recently, growing up with Nintendo I should say, with what Nintendo have been doing recently, the bullshit. So we just found one part, and we found the other one. And we also have to find a lighter and some wax to open. Again, just like with the hospital, I'm not 100% sure. So there's a lighter. I'm not 100% sure where everything is. So just bear with me as I open basically everything. So there's a lighter. I know the wax doll is in one of the long hallways. Oh, here's a jump scare here. I think it's random whenever it happens. Try again. Yeah, there. That scared the shit out of me the first time I played it. I just wasn't expecting it. I like how it's random though, because it will happen for some people, but it won't happen for others. I mean, unless you go back in there, but there's no reason to go back in. Now the hunting rifle. This game, it seems to... What you're up to? What you're up to? The guy who did the world record. Yeah, I don't know how you would do this in 30 minutes. That's crazy. I mean, even though I've made a few mistakes and I've been running around a lot, there's the rifle. I still don't know how you can do it in 30 minutes. I mean, my mistakes and that actually scared me. Maybe it might have scared you more if I hadn't told you that there was a jump scare coming up. Again, those are the sorts of jump scares that are good because they're not like so in your face. So that's where we need the wax doll and the lighter, and the horseshoe. So like I said, it's in one of these one of those like hallways. Yeah, as I was saying before, I mean, take away my mistakes, that's like 10 minutes off. Yeah, that's it's actually insane. That's what I was mentioning before about having patience for speedruns. I mean, having to play a game over and over and over. Now, there's something interesting. Kill this guy. There's a monster that speaks, and James looks at him, but you can't see him. It's always eluded people, and whenever people, I'm trying to get the one installed. Okay. And whenever people like hack the camera to find certain things, they always go into that room to see what the hell kind of monster is in there. But there's nothing in there. Probably knows a bunch of skips. I wonder what those skips are, because this, as I was saying before, there doesn't really feel like a game you can sequence break without glitching. So I'd really love to know what the glitches are, if there are any. It doesn't ever seem like a glitch game. But I mean, I've only ever played a game with Jim, so hold on. Oh, okay, alright. So there's some more hunting rifle. So the rifle bullets would be helpful against the boss coming up. How about that? So the other plaque is in here. A little freaky. So there's a plaque. The door closes on you. That's pretty cool. The game just throws all these little mini scares at you. Where it's always a game like Zelda, you can skip to the end. Yeah, that skip where it looks like you're putting in a cheat code, like a GTA cheat code, where you just like jump in place and you move left to right, like you throw a bomb, and then boom, you're at the end credits. I don't get that. That looks a lot like Pyramid Head, doesn't it? Just saying. So we'll buy these. Actually, here there's a little unique animation that only happens in this one area. So we go up. Oops, that's not it, by the way. So we go up these stairs. I'll walk because it's a bit, yeah. Now if we turn around and walk backwards, whoop. Far Cry 4. Yeah, but that's a secret ending. That's not like a legit ending. You wouldn't really count that as a speedrun. Although that would be funny. Pretty sure Far Cry 5, didn't Far Cry 5 have a secret ending like that as well? Actually, something interesting about that Far Cry 4 Easter egg is that when you start the game and you have the title screen, there's a song, and the song says, "Should I stay or should I go?" And it's kind of like a little reference to that Easter egg. I wish more games did that. Where, like, if there's a part, like, just stay here for a sec, and if you stay there, something will happen. Alright, combine, install, lighter, washing. It makes like a little mini handle. Jumping down more holes. There's a bit here. Did that just move, or was it only my imagination? That's the only time that happens. in Silent Hill 3. Oh, and also here. Horrible smells coming from the hole. My God, in the hole. I didn't see that. See, and that's the only time it happens. That happens a lot in Silent Hill 3. When you go up to something, interact with something, it'll have unique dialogue. Imagine just going AFK, coming back, and the game is finished. I reckon that's how it was found, maybe. Because that's also how that speedrun strat for Zelda the Twilight Princess was discovered. If you don't know what I'm talking about, in Zelda Twilight Princess, when Link has an item, and he's standing there with the item, and it has like the description of the item, he actually moves like minuscule. So what people do is they leave their game on for like 16 hours, because by that time, Link has moved through a wall. And that's how it was discovered. Some guy was playing the game on his Wii U, fell asleep, forgot to turn his Wii U off, and then when he woke up, he discovered that Link was in the wall. So, that's pretty fun. So this is a pretty long elevator ride. As I said, all about going down into the depths of hell. So I'm going to take this moment to have a drink. So now we're coming up to the Labyrinth. The Labyrinth is a really well-designed area of the game because there's no map. You have to, when you run through the area, James like draws his own maps. And he actually only draws the map if you have your flashlight on, which is cool. So, which is a neat little detail. So I'll show you here as an example. If we press the map, see how he's drawing it out, and it's very confusing. So that area there in bold colours. Oh, hang on, not yet. There's a really crazy puzzle. You've got to figure out where those bold colours. This place is yeah, what the fuck, must be so far underground. Yeah, and you'll see in a second, once we get out of this labyrinth area, that it's not going to make sense at all. You'll see what I mean. Yeah, okay, so I was going the right way. Now, this puzzle is tough because it is completely randomized. Doesn't matter what difficulty you're playing on, it's really tough and requires on trial and error. Now, how it works is moving the head moves this room. And what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to get the room layout so where one of these things on the floor is on the opposite wall, and that creates a doorway. So that blocks it off. Now, we got lucky and did it pretty quick, but I mean, I can see, you can see, oh, look who it is. Didn't she die? Doesn't matter. So now we get the numbers. So that's another part of the game that requires a lot of thought. Is how is Maria still alive? And like you said, the layout of the area. It's like just chilling in a cell 100 meters underground. That's right. It defies all sense. You gotta try and figure out. Whoa! Hey mate, how you going? I think I might go that way. mention that Pyramid Head's lair is under here. I think this is it. Yeah, this is Pyramid Head's lair. So this is where he chills out, and we get his weapon. Keeps his bodies here. So, actually, let's have a look at his weapon real quick, because it's a beast. It's so big, James has to drag it on the floor because it's so heavy. And let's see what happens when we try to attack. Ready? I'll just tap the attack button. So, yeah, I'm not going to use that. There's really no part of the game ever. It's just so ridiculous. So they're so far away. It's a pretty interesting spot. Now, the goal of the labyrinth, you have to find... there's a riddle. But the riddle is... Oh, no way, that's the way we can... Oh, yeah, that's what we're supposed to be doing. Yeah. We're supposed to find a riddle where we have to find the innocence of the guilty man. No, we have to find the innocence of the man who is declared guilty. Kind of cool you can get his weapon. I know. It's like a... it's one of those things that's just... doesn't need to be there, but it's cool that it is. Because like I said, there's absolutely no good area here. Now, on the hardest difficulty, Pyramid Head actually chills out in its catacombs. It's interesting to say, to note that I'm calling this place the Labyrinth, but it's never actually called that in the game. And I don't think the developers have ever said that that's the proper name for it. I'm pretty sure that's just what people have called it. Now, because there's an area similar to this in the first game, but nowhere. That's what I was saying, how there's no map. But unlike this game, he doesn't fill it in. It's completely new, which is crazy. You have to find everything. So I reckon this is a callback to that they throw you a bomb and fill it. But what's interesting is that he only fills it in the flashlight. I think I already said that. Alright, so we're getting up to the boss fight. A pretty cool boss fight, so that's why I'll save. Again, I'm only saving in case of a crash. So.
Daddy! No!
I'm just going to let this cutscene play a bit because it's crazy. This monster design is pretty disturbing. So it's not a hard boss. It's pretty interesting. They don't really give you a lot of room to move. A lot of people believe that these pistons resemble thrusting. So, if you know what that means. This is it. So, the riddle, I won't go into it too much. I've already got the solution, so we're not going to find... not going to take too long. But we've got a little riddle here. Again, it changes depending on the difficulty. I don't wish to die, but tomorrow, yeah, whatever. So basically, the riddle is asking you, it's asking, all these people have been hanged for a crime, and it's up to you to discover which one of the people was innocent. So on hard difficulty, it's a counterfeiter. So we got to find which one the counterfeiter is. It's bodily injury, so that's not it. Kidnapping, nope. Murder, nope. Embezzlement, that's probably it, but I'll just do these ones. Oh no, counterfeiting, there we go. What's this one? Swindling, no. So counterfeiting, so second, so bottom middle. Developers must have been insane. Oh yeah, I mean, the Silent Hill creature design is next level stuff. That noise has always creeped me out a bit. Does not sound like a rope being pulled. It sounds a lot. It sounds very different. Now, if we got that wrong, there would have been a parlay of enemies out to meet us. So good thing we didn't get it wrong. And it also helps with the monster design is that it, like I said, it references something to do with the characters, like their manifestations and all that. I say that a lot, but that's why. It sounds like elastic. Yeah, elastic. Yeah, it does a bit, but it's rope. It's not an elastic rope. It sounds organish. If that's a word, like you're pulling organs. I'm gonna let this scene play because it's one of my favorite scenes.
Maria? Maria? Maria, no! What happened to you? Why? Why?
Ah, she's dead again. What a shame. Trying to go back into that room, get the Maria ending. But we don't like Maria, we like Mary, so we're not gonna do it. If you ask me, the Maria ending is the worst ending because it just completely it makes the game feel like it wasn't worth it. So these are the gravestones that I was talking about earlier. So the only one that's the empty one is James's. We'll say Jameson. So we jump through the hole. More holes, man. What's the Maria ending? So obviously the whole point of the game is you're trying to find Mary. Is your wife who you've thought has been dead all these years. And the final boss, when you get up to it, it's Mary, right? And it's actually her, okay? Only in the Maria ending. Every other ending, it's Maria dressed up as Mary. But in the Maria ending, it's Mary. And basically, James says, I found someone else, I don't need you anymore. Kills Mary. And then when they're walking back to the car that you came in on, Maria starts coughing. Kind of like how Mary was sick. And James is like, you got to do something about that cough. And that's the ending. Alright, so now Eddie's gone insane. So we're gonna change to the hunting rifle. Yep, so Eddie takes a hunting rifle bullet, a 50 caliber bullet to the face, and he just runs off. Pretty tough. Can't pick up his revolver, which is annoying, but whatever. Alright, so remember how took it like a champ. Yeah, right, So remember how we kept going down, down, down? We went down all those holes. We went down the elevator that took like a minute and a half to get to the bottom. We jumped down the grave. Just remember that right now. Oh, we're at the lake. Now this section is right, I think. On easy and normal difficulty, you just use like the movement controls like normal. So that's so stupid, I know, right? So like pressing right turns you right, pressing left turns you left, pressing up goes up. But on hard difficulty, I don't know how they would do it on the keyboard, but on the controller you have to turn the sticks like actual oars, which is insane. And actually, finishing this boat ride in under 90 seconds is a requirement for the 10-star ranking. I haven't talked about the ranking yet, but to get a 10-star ranking you need to basically speedrun the game, you have to not save, you have to kill loads of enemies, and you have to complete this boat section in under 90 seconds. So doing that on hard difficulty, it's actually harder than it looks. And on the 360 version, this area is broken because this water, there's no fog at all. Oh, sorry, I thought someone was in here. So the water looks awful. But, yep, so we're at the final section of the game. We could have been going down a hill or something. No, remember? Because we went inside the Historical Society, which is here. So unless we just went underwater the whole way. Alright, so we gotta go over here, get the music box. That's the next major riddle. Not really a riddle, but anyway. So yeah, this is the last part. From now on, I'm not going to skip any cutscenes because they're all, from this point on, really good. Waiting for you. Room 312. That's the room Mary and I stayed in. So just a little bit of context, because I've been skipping all the cutscenes, is that before the events of the game, 3 years ago, before the events of the game, James and Mary came here on like a vacation to Silent Hill when it was a resort town, and there's a part where James video records her, and Mary's like, "I'm glad we took here. I'm glad you took me here. I love you so much." La 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 la. So you know they were a great couple. So that's a little bit of context. They stayed at this hotel, room 312. So that's why James is saying Mary and he and Mary stayed there. So just a bit of context, because like I said, I'm not going to skip any more cutscenes because the game gets really sad, really insane from this point forward. So. And I'm gonna stop using it. So like I said, this section of the game goes around about the same length as the apartments. So what we've got to do is we've got to find one, the videotape of what I was just talking about. That we've got to find. Hang on, we've got to find the mermaid boxes. Not this one yet. And we've got to find the videotape, and we've got to find the key to get up to the 3rd floor. And there's a really cool section that I'm not going to spoil. Yeah, we got to go in the restaurant. I remember that. That's where Laura is 100% sure. I also won't talk during the cutscenes either.
Did I scare you?
Yeah, you did.
You're here to find Mary, aren't you, James? Well, have you?
No. Is that why you're here too?
She's here, isn't she? If you know where she is, tell me. I'm tired of walking.
I wish I knew.
But she said it in her letter.
What letter?
Wanna read it? But don't tell Rachel, okay?
Who's Rachel?
She was our nurse. I took it from her locker.
My dearest Laura, I'm leaving this letter with Rachel to give to you after I'm gone. I'm far away now, in a quiet, beautiful place. Please forgive me for not saying goodbye before I left. Be well, Laura. Don't be too hard on the sisters. And Laura, about James, I know you hate him because you think he isn't nice to me, but please give him a chance. It's true he may be a little surly sometimes, and he doesn't laugh much, but underneath he's a really sweet person. Laura, I love you like my very own daughter. If things had worked out differently, I was hoping to adopt you. Happy 8th birthday, Laura. Your friend forever, Mary.
Laura, how old are you?
I turned 8 last week.
So, Mary couldn't have died 3 years ago. Could she really be here? Is this the quiet, beautiful place she was talking about?
Me and Mary talked a lot about Silent Hill. She even showed me all her pictures. She really wanted to come back. That's why I'm here. Maybe you'll get it if you see the other letter. The one, Mary. Huh? I must have dropped it.
Laura!
I gotta find it.
Laura!
Yeah. How fast is this little girl? I know, right? We have to go through heaps of shit. But remember, like I said, she doesn't see any of the crazy stuff or monsters that we do. So, she probably just took a bus here or something. So yeah, I mean, Mary died 3 years ago, and she said happy 8th birthday. What does that mean? How does that make sense? Oh, hey. The lobby. Okay, so Mr. James Sunderland, the videotape you forgot here is being kept in the office on the first floor. So we go there later. This is the key to the room. So we can't go to the room just yet because we've got to find the key to the 3rd floor first. This is where we put all the music boxes, which we've only got 1 so far, and there's 3 we got to find. So. I also love the background music of this place. It's really creepy. Oh, and also I forgot, we got to find the employee map. The employee map shows us what the blacked out parts are. So the game is just gifting us bullets at this point. Locked briefcase. I wonder how you open that. It's been a while since Oh, the fish key. Just remembered. It's weird because sometimes the game uses the key automatically, sometimes it doesn't. Room 204. Okay. Nearly there, nearly there. Oh, this is where we can find some audio of Mary and James, I'm pretty sure. No? Must be in a second playthrough. Is there some audio? Oh no, not between Mary and James, between James, Mary and like a doctor. Which is pretty sad. How many boss fights are left? 2. Yes, there's 2. Unless there's one, no, 2. Definitely 2. And they're pretty much one right after each other as well, so. I love how the camera changes like that. Employee elevator. Yep, so that's the employee key. So this box, we can guess what the 4-letter combination is. What you're supposed to do, you're supposed to find a photo. I think the photo's here somewhere. Yeah. So you're supposed to find paint thinner to get rid of that black stuff. I'll just take a sec to see if we can guess what it is. Maybe dark. Nope, it's not that. How about teen. Probably no. It's just going to be a lot quicker. So yeah, we gotta find some paint thinner. And play elevator key. Gotta find that elevator. That's that one. Yes. We can't get up to the 3rd floor at all. So it's only the first 2 floors and the basement. I'm pretty sure the basement, or... Oh, so that's not the employee elevator. Oh, okay. Just let me think for a sec. Oh, yeah, because that's blacked out. Told ya. Now, this is really interesting. Chances of guessing that must be pretty low. Yeah, because there's like 24 different words, I'm pretty sure. And I can't remember all the words off the top of my head. Now, I need to explain something real quick here. I'll just pause it. I think that pauses the timer. So, if we try and go in, we have an alarm, right? And that's because we are carrying too many items. So what we've got to do, we have to put literally every single item we own into this locker here, right? But there's something interesting. When we start the game, the first thing we have in our inventory is this photo of Mary and this letter. And in this letter, I didn't read it, and we skipped the cutscene where he reads it out loud. But he says it's from Mary, and that's the letter that's saying that she's still alive, waiting for him in their special place, right? And he's like, "How can that happen? She's dead." If we use it now, examine. Oh, fucking! There's nothing on the paper. Like. Before, it was all written, because it was her letter. That was what she wrote, and that's what she sent him. That's why he's here. And now there's nothing on there. There's nothing written. Now, like I said, we're supposed to put... we have to interact with this, I think. Wait, alarms, yeah. So we have to put everything we own on here. Literally everything. Even the letters, the keys, health items, everything. Except these 2 items. Except these 2. See? Nothing happens. Now, even if we go back... Oh, okay. I was going to say, even if we had just a key, like one key, it would still go off. But because... Yeah, but those two items... doesn't set off the alarm. It's just that little minimalistic storytelling that just adds so much depth and weight to this game. It's one of the reasons why it's my favourites. But this section's crazy because we have no light, so we can't use our map wherever we want. If we go into a dark area, you can't read the map. And we have no weapons. So it's like a little added challenge. So this is the videotape. And that's the can opener. The can opener lets us open a light bulb. Opens a can, it's got a light bulb. Bullets, that won't matter. We can pick stuff up here though, because we don't need to put anything away. So we've got bullets, but can't use them, obviously. So I still haven't said what's going to happen in the game. If you've never played Silent Hill 2, you're going to get your mind blown. So that's why I said I'm not skipping any of the cutscenes, because this last third of the game is one of the best last thirds of a game I've ever played. But my hand is starting to really kill me. So this is where another one of the mermaid thingies are. Oh, no, Snow White. Tea bags and cookies here, all past the expiration dates. No reason to carry a juice can. Must not be very hungry. So there's one more we gotta find. So I'm pretty sure we're done in here. No, there's a wine room. Is a wine room in here? Yeah, okay. We've done it. Whey! Some of these enemies are just dumb. You'll be right next to them and they won't even hit you. Especially that mannequin. Alright, so this is where we use the can opener. Light bulb. Why are there... It's just like... Who keeps light bulbs in a can? Especially a sealed can. If it's sealed, how do you get light bulbs in there? Oh, this is hilarious. I tried to use the key, but it's too hard to find the keyhole. Too dark. That's ridiculous. This is where we use the bulb. So that's the thinner that we use on the photo. Oh no, yeah. Mannequin just teleported. Wait, oh shit. Now we gotta find our way back to the elevator. Yeah, it's upstairs. Too dark. Wasn't it? Oh no. think it was on the other side, wasn't it? What the fuck? I've never heard that before. Shit, that scared the crap out of me. I've never heard that sound of a guy crying before. Yep, it's definitely here. Alright. Shotgun. So now we've got to go back to that place with the briefcase. That was on room 204, wasn't it? So I wonder what it was. Instead of trying to guess what it was. Help! Okay. Oops. I wonder if this is part of the speed run. Alright, so we've got all the boxes. So now it's daytime again. I've written down there's another riddle. I've written down the Cinderella. The riddles are based on the original like fairy tales, not the Disney versions, like the original fucked up versions. Probably guesses it. Yeah. That would piss me off though. Alright, now listen to one of the best pieces of music in the game. Alright, now we can finally go up to 312 and find the videotape. No, play the videotape. Oh, hang on. I just want to load that save. Because there's something that I missed. That's so good. Yeah, I know. If we stand at that up here, we can hear Mary. Okay, so I'll shut up and you can hear Mary. Okay. Okay, I was wrong. Pretty sure, yeah, maybe that's random. Because it definitely happens on the 360 version. It's just like a faint James. Anyway. 312, here it is. Whoops. And the videotape. Alright, let's see.
Are you taping again? Come on. I don't know why, but I just love it here. It's so peaceful. You know what I heard? This whole area used to be a sacred place. I think I can see why. It's too bad we have to leave. Please promise you'll take me again, James.
Keep watching.
Mary.
So there you are, James. Did you get the letter? Did you find Mary? If not, let's get going already, okay?
Laura. Mary's gone. She's dead.
Liar, that's a lie!
No, that's not true.
She died because she was sick?
No, I killed her.
You killer! Why'd you do it? I hate you! I want her back! Give her back to me! I knew it! You didn't care about her! I hate you, James! I hate you! I hate you! I hate you! She was always waiting for you. Why? Why?
I'm sorry. The Mary you know isn't here. Laura, I'm sorry. That voice!
Yeah, so basically, because, now you can see the hotel for what it really is. It wasn't perfect, it wasn't a nice place, it was actually disgustingly dilapidated. This is where reality begins to crumble. So essentially what happened was Mary was sick and taking her frustrations out on James, and James got fed up with her and killed her. So the letter that was sent isn't real. That's why it's blank when you look at it, and that's why it doesn't set off the weight detector in the elevator. Yeah, there's a theory that it happens. James comes to Silent Hill straight away after he killed her, and that his car, when you get the map, her body is actually in the boot. One of the developers of the game confirms this theory and actually says that she was in the back seat of the car. So, yeah. Everything begins to crumble. So this is what the hotel really looks like. Although we're not quite in the real world just yet. Is it the final stretch?
Mama! Mama, I was looking for you. Now you're the only one left. Maybe then I can rest. Mama, why are you running away? You're not my mama. It's you. Oh, I'm sorry.
Angela, no.
Thank you for saving me. But I wish you hadn't. Even Mama said it. I deserved what happened.
No, Angela, that's wrong.
No, don't pity me. I'm not worth it. Or maybe you think you can save me. Will you love me? Take care of me? Heal all my pain? That's what I thought. James, give me back that knife.
No, I won't.
Saving it for yourself?
Me? No. I'd never kill myself. It's hot as hell in here.
You see it too? For me, it's always like this.
So as soon as he killed her, he came to Silent Hill. Well, the thing about Silent Hill is like it's a place where you have to like face your fears, face your sins, right? So he got that letter from Silent Hill, not from her, to be punished for what he did. Same with Eddie. That's why Eddie's here, because he killed that football teacher, football coach, and Laura's here because. She was related to, not like related, but you know what I mean, like with Mary. And Angela's here, as you just saw in that cutscene, is because she was abused and stuff like that, depressed, and kills herself. So, yeah. Interesting in that cutscene, because she's like, for me it's always like this. So that's probably how she sees Silent Hill, instead of like the dilapidated buildings that we saw like in the hospital and all that. She probably sees everything on fire, so anyway, this is another crazy cutscene.
I was weak. That's why I needed you. Needed someone to punish me for my sins. But that's all over now. I know the truth. Now it's time to end this.
Yeah, so James accepts what he's done, and yeah, so this is it, the fight, final fight between Pyramid Head. I don't know why there's two of them. I don't know what that's supposed to represent. And we have a lot more room to run around now. This is kind of cool though. So now that he's accepted his fate, basically, there's no reason for the Pyramid Heads to exist anymore. So that's why they kill themselves. And then right after this, it's the last boss.
Mary?
What do you want, James?
I brought you some flowers.
Flowers? I don't want any damn flowers. Just go home already.
Mary, what are you saying?
Look, I'm disgusting. I don't deserve flowers. Between the disease and the drugs, I look like a monster. Well, what are you looking at? Get the hell out of here! Leave me alone already! I'm no use to anyone. I'll be dead soon anyway. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. It'd be easier if they'd just kill me. But I guess the hospital is making a nice profit off me. They want to keep me alive. Are you still here? I told you to go! Are you deaf? Don't come back! James! Wait! Please don't go! Stay with me! Don't leave me alone! I didn't mean what I said! Please, James! Tell me I'll be okay! Tell me I'm not going to die! Help me!
Yeah, so that's basically the justification for him to do it, you know. Alright, this is it, the last boss. Just go up all these steps. By the way, if you do the dog ending, you don't do any of these last bosses. Same as the UFO ending.
Mary?
When will you ever stop making that mistake? Mary's dead. You killed her.
Maria? It's you. But I don't need you anymore.
What? You must be joking. But I can be yours. I'll be here for you forever. And I'll never yell at you or make you feel bad. That's what you wanted. I'm different than Mary. How can you throw me away?
I understand now. It's time to end this nightmare.
No! I won't let you. You deserve to die too, James!
So we're not gonna get Maria. Actually, I found out a good use for that great knife. Let's do it.
James.
Mary?
James.
Forgive me.
I told you that I wanted to die, James. I wanted the pain to end.
That's why I did it, honey. I just couldn't watch you suffer. No. That's not true. You also said you didn't want to die. The truth is, I hated you. I wanted you out of the way. I wanted my life back.
James, if that were true, then why do you look so sad?
Mary?
James. Please. Please do something for me. Go on with your life. In my restless dreams, I see that town. Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday, but you never did. Well,
This was
I'm
that
alone
letter,
there now,
by the way.
in our special place, waiting for you. Waiting for you to come to see me. But you never do. And so I wait, wrapped in my cocoon of pain and loneliness. I know I've done a terrible thing to you. Something you'll never forgive me for. I wish I could change that. But I can't. I feel so pathetic and ugly laying here, waiting for you. Every day I stare up at the cracks in the ceiling, and all I can think about is how unfair it all is. The doctor came today. He told me I could go home for a short stay. It's not that I'm getting better. It's just that this may be my last chance. I think you know what I mean. Even so, I'm glad to be coming home. I've missed you terribly. But I'm afraid, James. I'm afraid you don't really want me to come home. Whenever you come see me, I can tell how hard it is on you. I don't know if you hate me or pity me, or maybe I just disgust you. I'm sorry about that. When I first learned that I was going to die, I just didn't want to accept it. I was so angry all the time, and I struck out at everyone I loved most. Especially you, James. That's why I understand if you do hate me. But I want you to know this, James. I'll always love you. Even though our life together had to end like this, I still wouldn't trade it for the world. We had some wonderful years together. Well, this letter has gone on too long, so I'll say goodbye. I told the nurse to give this to you after I'm gone. That means that as you read this, I'm already dead. I can't tell you to remember me, but I can't bear for you to forget me. These last few years since I became ill, I am so sorry for what I did to you, did to us. You've given me so much, and I haven't been able to return a single thing. That's why I want you to live for yourself now. Do what's best for you, James. James, you made me happy.
Geez, talk about depressing. I'm pretty sure that that stays the same depending on what ending you get. But we got the normal ending, which is called the leave ending, which is probably a lot of people would say is a good ending, like the story-wise. So. So basically, this ending is basically James accepting Mary's wish to adopt Laura. So, which is a pretty nice way to end the game, I think. And now we'll get our ranking. Well, we'll get the credits first. Alright, so we got 4.4 stars. 2 hours and 8 minutes. Wow, okay. So it counts cutscene time. So let's take away 10 minutes, give or take, for the cutscenes. So we finish in about an hour and 58 minutes, which is pretty good. 22 saves. That's me quick saving for crash, just in case I crash. But so basically, to get the 10-star ranking, which is the best, you need hard action, hard riddle. Doesn't matter what ending you get. You need at least 4 different endings. Less than 2 saves, or 2 saves or less. Under 3 hours. Walking and running distance doesn't matter. Items. I think you need to pick up 150 items. You need to defeat 75 enemies by shooting, 75 enemies by fighting. Do the boat in under 90 seconds, and have less than 500 points of damage. And that's your 10-star ranking. So that's pretty tough. I'm gonna get 10-star ranking eventually on stream. I don't know when, but that's not bad. No, it's pretty good. I was pretty happy with that, especially considering I did a lot of running around and I was lost for a bit, and we watched most of the endgame cutscenes. So yes, save. So that's it. That's 74th in the world. Well, 74th that was submitted. So, but still, I think I said my best was 157. So, yeah. So a little bit of what's the word? Bit of better strategy. So I could probably cut that down to about an hour and 30 minutes. Now, there's also there's a DLC that's like a second story about Maria. But I won't play that today. So I'll talk about the other endings. So the ending we got was the Leave ending. That was a good ending. Then there was the Maria ending that I've already told you about. Then there's the In Water ending, where James drives a car off a cliff into water and kills himself. And then I've already told you about the Rebirth, Dog, and UFO endings. So that's Silent Hill 2. Great game. Obviously, really cool twist. Really depressing at the end there. So it's not hard to see why it's one of my all-time favorites. I'll just exit out of that. Yeah, so so not hard to see why it's one of my all-time favorites. When I first played it, you know, I was scared. I was crying my eyes out. I was enthralled with the story. I was enthralled with the music. It took me. I can't remember. Like I said, I can't remember how long it took me to finish. But good game ending. Yeah, it was a good ending. Like I said, the Maria ending would have just made the whole thing feel like it was worth nothing. So. Anyway, thanks for joining me on the stream, and music really good. Yeah, really good. Like literally one of the best of any video game ever made. I still listen to it all the time in my spare time. It's got a good mixture of creepy, sad, melancholic, and uplifting. So, I don't know when, but I'll play Silent Hill 3. Silent Hill 3 is a very different game. It's a lot more visually creepy. The story is a lot more. It's not as sad, but it's still. It follows the first one, so it's not as good. It's not as sad, but it's still pretty good in its own right. So I'll play that. I don't know when. Not tomorrow. Maybe next week. Actually, no. I'll play the Maria story first, and then I'll play Silent Hill 3. Then I'll play Silent Hill 4, which will be interesting because I've never played that game before. So, yeah, thanks for joining me, and I hope you guys, whoever was watching this now or whenever, enjoys their life. Goodbye.